I remember back in the day when someone like me couldn't enjoy a nice juicy steak like this. Oh, that was the day. It was back in the year 2018. Mama, how come I always have to eat this leaf stuff? I want a burger.
Son, we can't afford such things.
But Mama, back in the day I had that juice.
Stop right there. We can't afford it.
I was too young to remember all that happened to cause this food crisis. But I remember at that time it wasn't always like this. It was when I was around 12 or 13. Mama, I sure do love burgers. Num 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 num. That was the last time I ever remember eating meat before this crisis. During my childhood, I had lived in the outskirts of the big city. My mom always told me not to go there. It just wasn't for me, I guess. Although I had felt this life wasn't right, it just seemed a bit off. But since I hadn't remembered any other way, living this was normal. Everything we ate was natural, so you can sure bet we were healthy, but a bit on the thin side. I once heard a rumor from a boy in my town that the people in the big city were fat. Ha! One time, I saw this strange form of life on the carrot farm. It was something I had never seen before. It could fly. So I captured and brought it home to show Mama. Mama took the jar and said it was nothing and told me to go play outside. My mom obviously knew something or was just oblivious. Come to think of it, everyone seemed oblivious to me. I had to see for myself what was being hidden, so I decided to take a visit to the big city. I packed up my belongings, a blanket, a pillow, a toothbrush, a couple of carrots, and another pair of clothes. I didn't tell anyone, and I picked up my bag and left. The big city was everything I had dreamed. Everything was big, even the people. I'd run out of carrots by the time I'd gotten this far in the city, and I was lost. But there was this mouth-watering smell that kept me going. Best steak? What is steak? I asked myself. But that was where the wonderful smell was coming from. So I decided to take a walk on in and sat down. And a lady came to me and dropped a big piece of meat on my plate. So I picked up my fork and knife and cut this object and laid it in my mouth. It was so juicy. It was a taste I had never tasted before. Well, of what I remember. I felt the fat building up in me as I ate, but I just couldn't stop eating. It was so good. As I sat there trying to stuff myself, it was all in my stomach. And I glanced at the front where they were cooking, and I noticed the flying bug I found in my town in one of the jars. Well, that makes sense why everyone is fat. Why my mama didn't want me to keep it. The waitress walked up to me and said,
Mister, here's your bill.
it said 45.95 Sindel. Yeah. I kinda didn't have enough money. Well, at least, not the right kind of money. What the heck is Sindel money anyhow? We used kilt back in town, but I guess I'm with the rich folk now. Well, kinda. I'm a bit in a pickle. The pickle I'm in presently, actually.